Hi guys, in this video I just wanted to share a few things I do to feel more alive. You know, to be truly immersed in life and not feeling like the days are just passing you by or that you're waiting for the future to happen. Ways to feel like you're alive here and now and that this moment is all you'll ever need. It's strange because we're constantly alive, but sometimes it just doesn't feel that way at all. Sometimes you might feel empty or numb or indecisive, overwhelmed, and right now with so many distractions available, it's tempting to succumb to all of them. So these are just some small ways to feel 10 to 20% better and to feel a little more immersed in the one life you have, to feel like you're making memories instead of reminiscing about old ones. This might sound counterintuitive, and some people might tell you to just give in to your feelings and do nothing. But when your negative thoughts are holding you captive and you just feel trapped in this icky, muddy feeling, it's best to do something that you don't feel like doing. Because maybe all you feel like doing at that moment is curling up in bed. You've come across a mental barricade, and if you stop there, you'll succumb to the same cycle of thoughts and actions that'll prevent you from truly living. So you must go against the grain and forge a new path for yourself. If your thoughts are stagnant, you must change them with your actions. Think about that feeling after you accomplish a hard task, that aliveness after a grueling workout, that shift in perspective in life. When you do things past the extent of what you're feeling, you open up far more possibilities for yourself. Doing something hard can reignite your spark and keep you motivated. So get up and do something counterintuitive to the negative emotions that are keeping you trapped. Sometimes you might feel this stuck feeling because your energy is stagnant. Maybe you've been crammed in your room all day, or you're always going to the same places. Our environment affects our thoughts. Most importantly, they can take us out of our repetitive cycles of thinking. Let's just say your thoughts are getting you down. They're pinning you in a hole of anxiety and hopelessness. But just imagine if you were suddenly taken to an execution in 18th century France. I'm pretty sure your thoughts would vanish rather quickly, and your mind will be taking in the present experience instead. Now, perhaps that's not the best example, but I realize that every time I visit new places, I'm focused on the environment instead. I'm out of my own head, I can just enjoy the present, and the environment can even reshape my outlook on life. This doesn't have to be any grand place. It could just be a strange corridor of a building you've never been to, a road you've never gone on, a secluded section of a beach, a roof, a stairwell. My favorite places to go to are bookstores. They immediately change my low mood or persistent negative outlook and make me excited once more for life. Just browsing the shelves, looking at all the covers, all the stories and knowledge that surround you, you are reminded of the vastness of this world and the many treasures it has to offer. Being in a bookstore makes me feel like the wealthiest person on earth. Okay, now this isn't just some meditation, notice your thoughts, take deep breaths kind of thing. It's an art of noticing. Your attention is your currency, and too often we're pulled away from the present by paying attention to useless, fast-paced things. There's this one quote from a book that really resonated with me. What you pay attention to will define for you what reality is. I love going out in nature because it's kind of hard not to be present when you're in nature. All your senses are just more aware. I take notice of every single plant and stone, and even the erosion along the boulders, the sound of the stream, the feeling of a warm rock against my skin, or even just holding a stone that has remained on the riverbed for thousands of years. There's no sense of urgency in nature. Time just takes its time, and it feels like I can just totally relax. So I felt like this section was just important to talk about face to face. Listen, no matter how hard you try, you're always going to feel like something is missing if you isolate yourself from other people, especially when we're feeling down. A lot of us, we tend to just bottle up our feelings. We don't want to talk to others. And I just wanted to share a few tips on how to communicate your feelings or how to talk to others without feeling like you're a burden or that you're just trauma dumping. When people trauma dump or just emotionally dump on another person, the key word here is dump. You essentially take no accountability for your own emotions and you kind of just heap all of that onto another person and expect them to deal with it. You go into a conversation viewing that conversation as a means to an end. I know a lot of people might not want to hear this, and I know especially when I was suffering a lot, I felt like, well, why do I have to deal with this? I can't talk to anyone, blah blah blah. You have to take a little bit, just a little bit of responsibility for that negative emotion. It's like you have this big bucket of emotions that you don't know what to do with it. It's so heavy and you just want to talk to someone, but instead of just giving the bucket to the other person, right, making them carry the whole thing for you, you take one handle and you give another handle to the other person. So you will definitely feel better, but you must also bear a part of the burden so that the other person isn't overwhelmed. There's nothing better than immersing yourself deep in work, placing your focus resolutely on one thing. It may be hard to feel truly alive when you're mentally scattered, jumping from one distraction to the next, but working hard at something, putting your all into something, being immersed in the creative process, all that can act as a remedy to an overstimulated brain. This isn't for an end result or to feel productive or like you're doing enough. It's simply to feel as though you're alive, learning new things, challenging all of your mental faculties, problem solving. I don't need a lot of things in this life, just something to work on and my friends and family. Practicing gratitude on a daily basis has genuinely changed my whole life. It never worked for me before, but now I realize that it's much more than just listing 5 things you're grateful for, which can often feel contrived. It's about noticing, truly sinking into your reality and noticing every little thing. The feel of a warm cup of tea, of your feet against a wooden floor, the sound of cars, of the wind, of sinking into your senses, and realizing how incredible it is that you get to experience the taste of an apple, or be able to rest your head against a soft pillow. To be honest, one morning I stood on my floor, stretched, and I just started crying, because suddenly I just realized I'm so grateful that my friends and family are alive. What more can I ask for? For a while, because of suffering, I used to loathe my life. But now I sometimes think to myself, what have I done to deserve such a precious and beautiful life? Lastly, I want to end this video with some closing thoughts. Life will never be perfect. We hear this a lot, we recognize it even as the truth, but a lot of us like to go against it, always half expecting life to turn out the way you want it to, attaching to ideals and dreams without ever facing the imperfect reality before us. But its unpredictability, its imperfection is what makes life beautiful. This is what gives people second chances, meet cutes, impossible opportunities, coincidences, character arcs. Sometimes as well, we confuse the life we want with a life that is comfortable and easy. But there will always be a certain discomfort to life. Yet this is the only time you'll be able to experience this unique discomfort that comes with living. After you're gone, you have the rest of eternity to feel perfectly nothing. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope it was helpful for some.